Foolio sentencing. And if you don't know, this is a sentencing part of the trial for these people who have all been found guilty. Now, if you don't know, it's the penalty phase. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me click here. This is what happened today. All right. So let me give you the update. So there was 5 people charged for Foolio's murder. The young woman, her name is Alicia Andrews. She actually severed her trial, and she was able to claim that she didn't know about the plot. Somehow the prosecutors believed her. I thought she was going to have to tell on everybody, but she seemed to act like she didn't know too much. And then she threw into the mix, which I say this is a female benefit. She said she was in an abusive relationship and under threat and fear of her boyfriend either leaving her or not, or possibly beating her. She allowed him to take her phone, make calls, and pretty much participate. She did participate, she claims, unknowingly in this murder plot. Now, very interesting because she's seen as the only one on the Airbnb doorbell camera. At some point, I know that we're acting like these people are stupid, but if everybody's coming in through the back door, you don't notice something is up when you're the only one that walks to the front door and the camera's only capturing you. She tried to explain it pretty well, and she did get convicted of some stuff, but it's not first-degree murder. So what happens in Florida is first-degree murder. The penalty is life imprisonment or the death penalty. It was announced earlier in the case that the prosecutors were going to look for the possibility of the death penalty. And with that election, it meant that if they were found guilty, the 4 of them, because remember, she copped out to some lesser stuff. I think it's like, I forgot what she was actually, let me actually look it up. Alicia Andrews she got convicted of manslaughter. Okay, so manslaughter, which means she didn't mean to cause someone to die. They got convicted of first-degree murder. The only 2 possibilities is life or death. Now, they got found guilty, and now we're in the penalty phase. And chat, it's been a lot of interesting stuff happening. I want to show you before his mom. Remember I kept telling you about this kid? He's like 20 years old. He showed up. He's the guy who was the first guy out there with the gun killing Foolio. He started crying at the last hearing. Well, I told you he was living pretty good. His mama, who claimed she didn't know her son was, on some bullshit. His mama actually testified. And I want to show you, let's see if we can get to the mama's testimony real quick. Here we go. Let me see. I think this is his mom. Let's go back.
I'll pass the witness. Okay. Ms. Doherty? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Harrington, for the 11 years when you were with his mother, it sounds like that you had a very loving, supportive relationship with Sean Gathright. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You went to the interview with somebody on Zoom. Now I think the mom is going to take the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning, ma'am. Can you please state your name for the record?
Here we go.
Make sure you move up to that microphone because it's hard to hear sometimes.
Lisa Gathright.
So this is his mama. And his mama going to say she didn't know her son is a killer. Listen to this shit.
Your name for a court reporter?
LisaGathright.
Thank you. And Ms. Gathright, what is your relationship to Sean Gathright?
He's my grandson.
So is his father your son?
Yes, he is.
And can you tell me a little bit about your relationship with Sean? Obviously, you're his grandmother, but are you close with Sean? Have you been his whole life?
I've been very close to Sean ever since he was born.
Have you been involved in his life since he was young?
Yes. His parents were both in the military and they were deployed, and there were times when both of the kids stayed with me for extended periods of time. He went to school in the town where I live, and
Where do you live?
I live in Oxford, Mississippi.
And did you live there when he was growing up as well? You've been there?
Yes.
Okay. So he would come and stay with you, live with you and go to school?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell us a little bit about Sean as a child? What was he like? What was his character like? How did he behave?
He was a fun kid. He has a great sense of humor, a wonderful personality. He's just all around good kid.
Wait, this is not his mom? Is his grandma? Oh, my bad. All right, let's get to his mom then. Wait, this is his mom? No way. What? Wait. This is mama? Oh, so that had to be his grandma for the dad. Okay, let's get to it. His mama black? Oh, yeah, she definitely a fuck up then. I thought his mom would be a white woman. Here we go. Is this a mom? Give me a second, yeah.
In
Here we go.
sitting at my house, someone who would chase popularity or have a large group of friends. The friends that he does.
This the mom chat? Yeah, whatever they claim that nigga did, he did it. Shorty showed up with a bad wig. To be on the stand. You could tell she was just chasing dick the whole time. Real nigga shit, man. Word up, bro. I gotta keep it a bean with you, bro. Bad fucked up wig. Like, yeah, bro. Like, yeah, whatever they said that nigga did, he did it, bro. She ain't had no time to be being a parent, bro. No time to be a parent, bro.
It's a small circle, and they're very close to each other. On a Friday or Saturday night, you wouldn't find him out at a club or hanging out or anything like that. You most likely find him and his 2 or 3 best friends, sitting at my house, talking about who knows what all night long. And I'd get, wrapped up in there, and they'd have debates, and it was something that was so nice to see in, young men of this day and age, where it wasn't just about music or it wasn't just about superficial things. Like, they really had real deep, meaningful conversations.
And is Nehemiah Tudor, is he one of those friends?
Yes.
Okay. So we talked to him yesterday, and he was kind of sharing some of the things that they would do. And that was when you were in Jacksonville, right?
Yes.
When did you, give us kind of a time frame. We've heard about obviously traveling in the military. We've heard about living in Mississippi. When did you guys move to Jacksonville?
We moved to Jacksonville in 2016 after I retired from the Marine Corps.
2016?
Yes.
Okay, and did you stay there consistently till now, or?
Yes.
Okay. At any point, did Sean move from Jacksonville?
Yes, he moved from Jacksonville. I want to say it was
She's Jamaican?
2020 or 2021. He moved out to California with his dad
Okay,
for a
and then-
while.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all.
How long was he there?
He was there for approximately, I would say, 1.5 to 2 years.
What was his relationship like with his biological father?
It wasn't a good relationship. My experience with their father, which is the main reason why we were divorced, he had a very volatile temper, and I think as Sean grew older, I don't think he was the kind of person who would see like another confident male, even if it is his son.
Ma'am, speed it up.
Maybe
You
he was
failed.
threatened by the person that Sean was becoming, but in my opinion, their dad was pretty insecure. So,
Did it seem to be more volatile as Sean got older, like not when he was a little kid?
as Sean got older, yes.
What about Sean's behavior? Did you have behavior issues with him? Did he have to be punished a lot?
No, Sean was such a good kid. No, he was mature. He was, so.
Actually, I do believe her. Like, I would imagine, a lot of times, but that's a sign of a bad parent. Because I'm pretty sure Sean was a good kid while around his mom, like everybody has that one friend that their mom don't know what they into, and when they're around their mom, they're like an amazing child. So she only knows that side of him.
Like, he could be serious and really understand what he was supposed to do. Didn't mean he always did it. He, he did the usual kid things. You had to tell him 2 or 3 times, hey, go clean up your room, do the dishes, stuff like that. But he never made a big fuss about it. We didn't really have any arguments. And we had one argument, and I think it was more just about frustration, about trying to figure out, oh, no, here we go. So when he started college the first semester,
Where did you go to college?
he went to FSCJ. So the first semester, I paid for the first semester and everything, and he, went to, but his grades were not that good. Like, he was doing, I think it was like C's and stuff like that. And I said, hey, if you don't, I was like, I'm not paying for another semester. You're gonna have to pay for it. So he started working, and he completely turned his grades around. And I was like, when you have investment in, your own thing, and mama's not paying for it, and you got to use your own money for it. It really.
Is his dad white then? If she's black, well, I guess his dad would be white because we just seen the white grandma. So I guess she married the guy.
I think it really gave him like a kick in the butt to realize that, hey, you gotta take this seriously when you're the one who's invested.
Where was he working to pay for school?
Here in Jacksonville, like football. It was like a youth football. Players would pay him like.
What did he go to school for? Do you remember? What did he start studying?
He got into media when he was at Julia Landon, and he wanted to get into, doing filmography. There's a part when they were little, people thought they were twin arguments and everything like that, but at the end of the day, they were so.
Relationship with Sean now? I mean, obviously you were close with him growing up, and he lived with you, when you weren't deployed mostly. But have you maintained a close relationship with him as he's gotten into adulthood?
Oh yes, I have, and he's become the cool, logical head that, like I said, that's like, Mom, no, I don't think this is a good idea.
He's still supportive of you?
Oh yeah, he's still supportive of me.
Is he a killer?
Just as I was supportive of him as ever. He's my.
So this isn't trial necessarily. This is a penalty phase. This is sentencing. So these are character testimonies. So you want to make him seem like he was a productive person to the community. They were pleasant outside of this one bad decision. Because again, remember, the jury still has to deliberate and pick who's gonna die and do life in prison.
Boy.
And will you continue to have that relationship with him moving forward?
Oh, forever.
Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Questions?
Just briefly.
So now I believe the state is going, and the state is going to basically say, hey, do you know your son was a murderer? And I'm pretty sure she's going to play dumb.
Ms. Lyle, your son also went to community college, is that correct?
Yes, FSCJ.
Yes. And besides that brief period of time where he wasn't doing so well, he normally was a good student, is that correct?
Yes.
And he traveled a lot throughout growing up?
Yes, as a part of just being in the military and also.
With you, he traveled
Yes.
as well. And you said that he had a close group knit of friends, is that correct?
Yes.
And later, while he was living with you, one of those close friends was Isaiah Chance, isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes.
And you didn't have any concerns about his close relationship with Mr. Chance, isn't that true?
That's true.
I have nothing further, Judge.
Basically just pointed out, all right, so you say he was all these things, but his friends was this guy, right? Okay, good. We don't got to ask
Okay.
him more.
Redirect? Okay. May this witness be excused? Yes. Okay. Very good. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay,
All right. And who's going to be your
now he's going to take the stand himself.
next witness? Okay.
No, actually, I think his sister's going to take the stand. All right, let's get to it.
Did you guys always stay together?
Yes, we moved a lot, but we've never been apart.
So if he would go to Mississippi,
Damn, it looks just like him, huh? That's his sister. All right, let's get to him going on the stand.
looks like he's reading to a baby that probably isn't old enough to carry yet, huh?
Yeah. Aww.
Here you go.
Isn't that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, the tears coming again. Here we go, man.
Both of you have nice, prized, your
Damn, look at yo, chat. I'm not heartless, but we got to remember. You know, every time, because I feel like somebody gonna be like, "Damn, Ak, you heartless." I'm gonna put this video up because you're gonna like. We all have empathy, so every time we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to remind you. Every time y'all like, damn, Ak, yo, why you laughing? Damn. We're going to remind you, this is him. This is him. I'm going to keep reminding y'all. Because we're not, look, this is him. Yup. This is when, so for anybody's like, oh, man, Ak, nah, this is kind of sad. Well, this was kind of sad too. Okay? This was kind of sad. Yup. Y'all want to count the bullets? Let's count the bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, yeah. That was sad too. So we're going to sit and watch this little bum cry, and we're not going to feel too bad for him. I'm sorry to say. At least I ain't. Y'all could.
Really think about when I think about what's going on.
Okay.
The boy was having a good time playing Call of Duty, being at home with his family that supposedly they got a little bit of money. He had his sister, his mama. He had other relatives. Looked like he had maybe had a niece or a nephew. And he left the house to travel to Tampa to go play gangster and to go murder somebody in cold blood. We didn't tell him to go do it. He willingly made the choice to give up that life. That life is now over. Now we analyze his next life, and we can't feel too bad about it. You can't feel bad about what he chose.
I just miss my brother.
Will you, do you still maintain a relationship today?
Mm-hmm.
You're able to talk to him and communicate?
Yep.
And will you continue to do that?
Of course.
And hopefully in whatever way possible, could he still be involved in your kids' lives and be an uncle?
Of course.
Do you have a moment?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Gathright, you have characterized
Every time you look at this nigga, man, you could tell. It's the regret. The regret in his face is so crazy. And again, I think it is important to kind of highlight these things to let people know he's the only one I see with this tremendous regret. It's like he's saying to himself, what the fuck did I do? He's watching his mama cry, his sister cry. He's seeing his grandma cry.
your and your brother Sean's childhood as a good, nice, loving childhood growing up. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
You said that both of you had wonderful, loving,
Nah, pan the camera back on him.
supportive relationships. Isn't that true,
Yo,
ma'am?
how many back rubs this nigga gonna get, yo? What's up?
And specifically when talking about male role models, you said that he had a wonderful relationship with his stepdad, Brian.
Yes.
He also had a wonderful godfather. His grandmother, Lisa Gathright, you both had wonderful relationships with her as well.
Yes.
And her husband, before he passed away, your grandfather, both you and your brother Sean had an amazing, loving, supportive relationship with him as well. When you all were living in Japan, you said that Sean was had a lot of activities. He was very good in karate. Isn't that true?
Yes.
So good, in fact, that he got a blue belt in karate.
Yes.
So he was able to participate in a lot of activities. Isn't that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Very supportive family, both your mother as well as his grandparents.
Yes, ma'am.
Made sure that he was active and had lots of activities, including sports,
Yes.
traveling.
Yes.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, redirect. Okay, may this witness be excused?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, you're free to go.
Now he's gonna take the stand. They ask him, "Are you good enough to take the stand, my boy?"
Sure. All right, we'll take another quick, 2-minute break. So
They
if
took
you
a break because he crying. Wipe your tears, young man. They talking to him. You good? You sure?
everyone have a seat.
You know they trying to tell him, yo, bro. You gotta remember, you still that nigga. You gotta walk up to the stand just like how you walked him down. Word up. Just like how you was walking here, you gotta walk to the stand, my boy. Yeah, bro. You gotta walk him down. What's the problem? Yeah, don't come into court with your little turtleneck. You gotta walk him down, my boy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah, by number.
Description.
Your chat, the nigga probably was living better than you at 20. He was living better than me. Yeah, look at him. He wanted to be thugging. It's so funny because you could look on his face and tell he just wants somebody to come save him, bro. Like, he wants somebody, like, it's kind of like he's sitting there hoping this shit is just a bad fucking dream. And I get it, you know, like that I have a little bit of empathy for, but, you know, based on what he did, like, it's not like we speculating, like, we know what he did. What, is it because he's light-skinned or he's 20 years old or what? We going to give him a pass? Like, bruv, he's a grown-ass man. He knew what he was doing, you know?
Okay, so, Mr. Gathright, this is another stage of the proceeding where you make the decision, and only you get to make the decision whether or not to testify, okay? You can choose to remain silent, or you can take the stand, be sworn to tell the truth, and then tell the truth.
If he was gangster, the only way, yo, if I'm on the jury, y'all don't want me on the jury. Y'all don't want me on the jury. You gotta pop out like this. I'm putting that boy Sean Gathright to death, nigga, unless he come out like this. If he coming like this,
Yeah, that's how I wrote a song.
yeah, this how you gotta come for me to say, all right.
Hello there, Your Honor. I wanna say I'm sorry for the things I've done, and I try and be stronger in this life I chose. But I want you to know that door I closed. In Your Honor, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. To my mother, I'm sorry, 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 sorry.
To Foolio.
To the victim, I'm sorry, sorry.
Yeah, right there, be like, yo, to Foolio, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's how you gotta get it up.
Sorry, 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 sorry,
Oh, yeah.
sorry. Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry, 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 sorry. Oh.
Oh shit, the nigga hit the like you trying to catch an extra harmony. Nah.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Sorry, sorry, sorry. Oh. Thank you, Your Honor.
Encore. Okay.
It's my understanding from your counsel that you wish to
Or calls case People versus Corey Harris.
Has anyone, including your attorneys, threatened you or coerced you or harassed you in any way in order to get you to make this decision? And has anybody made you any promises or assurances regarding what the jury's decision will be in this phase of the trial?
Your Honor, I'm sorry.
And you understand, no one can, right? No one can predict, like what any jury will do at any time. Your attorneys can do their best to advise you, but no one can ultimately predict. So do you understand that? Okay. And as far as this, at this stage of the proceedings, you will be permitted to testify, but we're not going to revisit necessarily facts, because then you risk potentially opening the door, and then you could find yourself in a situation where you could be required to answer questions about the case, and that's not what is meant to happen at this stage, and it could ultimately be negatively impactful for you if that were to happen. Do you understand that?
Especially if you want to appeal.
Okay, very good. So if he's going to testify, let's go ahead and put him on witness stand.
Here you go.
Okay, very good. Let's go ahead then and bring in the jury.
All right.
Okay, very good. Everyone have a seat. All right, Ms. Finkelstein, your next witness is?
Sean Gathright.
All right, Mr. Gafford, please stand up, raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this copy that you know the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have a seat and you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your name for the record, sir, and spell your name for our court reporter.
My name's Sean Gathright, SeanGathright.
Yeah, this boy sounds sweet as hell, man.
What's your date of birth, sir?
I was born on October 20th, 2005.
Mr. Gathright, you've heard people speak
And my boy really didn't make it to GTA 6. Like, this is crazy.
today on your behalf and yesterday, and I know that you wanted to address the court and the jury. So I would like to ask you what you want the jury to know.
I just want to address the court today, and, you know, I'm not here to dispute anything. I'm just here to be a man and take responsibility and express my feelings about what is, you know, this whole situation. You know, that's what I plan on doing.
Okay. And how do you feel? What?
I feel very remorseful, you know. This is a terrible situation. It's been a traumatic experience.
Boy know English now, huh? He's trying to be a gang member before. All that ebonics is out the window.
You know,
Let me ask you this. So, how old were you when you were arrested?
I was 18 years old.
We heard that you had started some college. Obviously, probably didn't get very far, right?
Right.
What have you done since you've been in jail? Is there programs? Are there things that you can do there?
So, you know, I've gotten into programs. I've also, you know, I grew up, you know, in church and, you know, in a Christian household. So I refocused my, you know, life to Christ, and, you know, I've taken a lot of religious programs. I've read the Bible from cover to cover. I've tried to, share some word, and, we have prayer circles in the jail and stuff like that. I've led a couple, prayer circles, and I've tried to, kids around my age or, younger, since I'm 20 years old now, when you turn 18, you go to the adult pods and stuff like that. So if I see somebody who I see, has a lot of potential and has a chance to keep them from, basically being able to be corrected at this opportunity and not come back, I try to take them under my wing. As you see, I have a lot of resources and a lot of family that love me, and they've even, asked me, like, hey, is there anybody in there who doesn't have somebody like that, who, could we send them some money, like, anything like that. So I've tried to, be a vessel for God to pour over my blessings into those around me.
We heard from Mr. Bonosca, who said that, in prison that there is opportunities at times to be a mentor or do orientations and peer-to-peer things like that. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing?
Of course, I definitely want to, try my absolute best to course correct anybody from falling down the path that they don't have to take, especially the youth. I feel like that's my calling that God has put on my heart to, be a mentor to the youth and be a positive influence in this world.
What about those relationships? Like you said, you have a lot of people. Are you able to maintain those relationships now?
Yeah, so, everybody who I, maintain a relationship wasn't able to all be here today or, even testify. But, I talk to them daily, weekly, bi-weekly. I cherish my supporters very deeply, and I want to maintain a relationship with them for the rest of my life.
And I know, we're not going to talk about the case itself, right? But you said that you were taking accountability, you felt remorseful. Tell us what you mean by that and what statement you want to make.
To the victim's family,
Oh,
I want to send my deepest condolences, and I understand that it's hard losing a child, a best friend, a brother, a cousin, and for that I just cannot say sorry enough. I feel terrible about the situation, but I'm a firm believer that God can use anything for good that the devil wants it for bad. And so I am grateful for the people I've met, for the lessons that I've learned, for just this experience in general, because it's one that I'll never forget, and it's going to shape the rest of my life.
Sounds like there's that saying, it's kind of cheesy, but you make lemons out of lemonade or whatever. Make
Lemonade out of lemons.
Somehow. I obviously don't make lemonade, but it sounds to me like you are going to try and make the best of a bad situation. Does that sound about right?
Of course.
And are you going to continue to do that?
Of course. I'm going to try to, continue a humble life, a righteous life, try to do the right things at all times, and,
Will you apprise yourself? We've heard about some, courses and programs and things that you can get involved with to stay busy in prison. Is that something that you plan to do?
Yeah, so hearing Raul's testimony was, the first glimpse that I have of, what prison it could be like. I want to stay as busy as possible, stay away from bad apples. I want to, keep a job, get into programs, try to get into any vocational things I can do, try to, keep my record clean to, go to the best incentivized things and have visits with my family. And, I just want to just stay out the way, I just want to make everything, peaceful as can be.
So even knowing that you're not getting out of prison, you want to make the best of your stay there?
Of course. Who wouldn't? If you're going to be somewhere for the rest of your life, why would you make your life a living hell?
And you're young, right? You're 20?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. Stay.
man, this is sad for the parents though. The grandmother and the mom have to listen to their son basically, kind of like accept this life of they'll never be free again.
You would agree with me that Charles Jones was young too, wasn't he?
Oh shit! Oh nah, they're not playing with him. You'd agree that Charles Jones is. You agree that Julio Foolio was young too, right, nigga?
Relatively young, yes, sir.
26, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what the evidence showed us, correct? You were sitting here watching that, correct? The
This nigga not playing with him. This nigga want him to die.
evidence that came in over the last several weeks?
I was right there.
Yeah. And you want to take accountability now, correct? You want to take accountability now that this jury has found you guilty, correct?
Yes, sir.
Weeks after we went through a trial. Is that your testimony?
Nah, yo, this guy's not playing with him. Oh, now you want to take accountability after we go through the trial, right?
I'm going to sustain the objection.
Yeah, you could tell the judge a little softy pants. This nigga a little bit too aggressive with how he coming, but he coming hard. Pause.
You indicated this was a traumatic experience. Is that right?
For who?
Yes,
That's what you just testified to, correct?
Yo, this nigga, you could tell.
That's what I said.
Show him the picture of the murder. Show him the picture of the murder.
Please have one moment, Your Honor. I'm trying to get the all know.
Yes.
You trying to get the picture of the murder. Look. You said it was traumatic, right? What about this picture of Foolio stretched out all over the car? Dead.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Stage 25C. You remember Gino Norris?
Oh, my God.
Yes, sir.
You remember him?
Yo, they going crazy on him. Nah, the state dropping 30. They dropping 30 on him. Yo, was this traumatizing, gangy?
He was also really young when this happened, wasn't he?
I didn't know how old he was.
Early 20s, 22. Would that surprise you?
No, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Gino Norris, who's not a gang member, who's Charles Jones' friend from the time.
Yo, they're frying him. Frying. Yo, all them tears. You got your mom, your grandma, your sister. Nigga, what you think this is Sunday dinner? Nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Yo, let's bring up the pictures of the blood, the murder, the bullets. Let's bring that up. Nigga over here like, yo, sobbing and like, yo, man, yo.
Children.
That's the legal basis.
What you mean legal basis?
Okay. Come on up, counsel.
Yeah, nah, the judge soft. The judge is like, come on, chill. Like, you can tell the judge is on some chill shit. Nah, ain't no chill. This is a prosecutor. This is defense. Now throw the pick back up there. Throw it back up there.
C. Xavier.
Yo, the nigga talking about yo, when he in prison, he got to make sure he watch out for bad apples. Nigga, you the bad apple. Nigga, you're the bad apple. You're the bad apple, you fucking idiot.
Edwards. 25C, Gino Norris.
Oh, he put it right back up.
And you saw the autopsy photos of Charles Jones. My question to you is, after you and your friends inflicted that carnage on June 23rd, and as you were running stage...
Did you put up a Don Julio bottle on your goddamn story?
2059C, this is actually you running...
Oh, you getting cooked. Oh, look.
...to shoot them, but when you were running back past that Tesla, were you feeling a lot of trauma at that point?
Ah! Chad, I found a good reason to use it now.
This is actually you running to shoot them, but when you were running back past that Tesla, were you feeling a lot of trauma at that point?
Which one is that? Nah.
To shoot them, but when you were running back past that Tesla, Were you feeling a lot of trauma at that point?
You don't know what to say. You don't know what to... Yo, this prosecutor, you could tell this nigga is cooking.
So long ago, I try to not remember anything from that night.
Were you remorseful as you were running back with that AR-15 in your hands?
Like I said, I try to remember nothing from that night.
Was it traumatic to you as you went back to the car with that AR-15? Was it still smoking? Was it still warm in your hands from firing?
Yo, Judge, let that man cook. Let that man cook. He cooked Foolio. Let him get cooked on a stand. Nah. This prosecutor is not playing. Yo, was this traumatic right here? Nah.
As you were running back with that AR-15 in your hands?
Like I said, I try to remember nothing from that night.
Was it traumatic to you as you went back to the car with that AR-15? Was it still smoking? Was it still warm in your hands from firing?
Sustain the objection.
Oh, the judge is sustained. The judge soft. The judge soft.
Were you feeling remorse as you were getting back into the Impala?
Like I said, I just try to focus on today and moving forward.
So the next day,
when you posted down Julio bottle.
That Impala, that was your car. You drove that around, right? It was your mom's, but you drove that car, correct?
Yes, sir. It was my mother's car.
Right. And that was the car you drove from Jacksonville to Tampa in, correct?
I'm going to object beyond stuff.
I'm working to a point, Your Honor.
Okay, why don't we just get there?
All right. So this car, this Impala that you drove from Jacksonville to...
By the way, chat, I'm going to be honest with you. His testimony here is cooking him for appeal. Like, he's now on record admitting that that's his car, that it was him. He's admitting. He's cooked on appeal. You get what I'm saying? This is why they're telling you you're taking a big chance here. Now, if they're going to coach him up, he should have been like, oh, I don't remember. They could say like, yeah, I don't remember. But here's the thing. It's going to defeat the whole point you came up here. You came up here to say you're sorry. You can't be like, because the prosecutor is going to say, you're sorry for what? So you kind of have to admit. You get what I'm saying? So you kind of have to admit, but it's cooking you on appeal. Now, let's be honest. Do we think he was going to get beat appeal? Fuck no.
Tampa in with Mr. Chance and Miss Andrews, the one that you drove in tandem with the Silver Cruise, the same car that you utilized to drive the assault.
Yo, chat. Oh, you know what we need? Hey, could one of y'all get me this? I need this as a soundboard thing.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Yup. I need this.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Yeah, I need that. I need that, chat.
Yeah.
Assault team, the shooting team, which you were a part of that night, that same car that you drove around Tampa in the early morning hours for several hours, tracking, stalking, and hunting Charles Jones and his entourage.
Sustained.
That same Impala, you drove that to Polk County the next day, and you dropped it at your grandmother's house, right? The same grandmother who came in here last night and testified for you, correct?
Overruled. Go ahead. You can answer that question.
Isn't that correct?
What is the question?
You dropped the Impala, the one that had all of these
You dropped it at your granny's house, right, nigga?
in it, the one that was utilized in this murder, that was such a vital cog in this plan. You dropped it at your grandmother's house in Auburndale, didn't you?
I'm here to testify about today.
Are you going to answer that question, or are you going to avoid it? Because that's not what I asked what you were doing here today. I think we all understand what you're here to do today, what you're testifying.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Yeah.
We've all
I'm asking you specifically about your remorse. Were you remorseful when you dropped that car off and left it at your grandmother's house in Auburndale?
I did go to my grandmother's house.
Were you feeling remorse when you hugged her in the 4Runner and left her with the Impala after you wiped it down?
Sir, I'm just telling you that today I would like to express my remorse to the
I
family and to the
understand. I
court.
understand what you're trying to do today. I'm asking you, since you're trying to convince this jury that you were.
Yo, he seems so this. He's like, yo, bro, I'm just trying not to get the needle, bro. Please, bro, let me just, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, I want to show you a human side because like this is a very serious situation. Man, it's so crazy how one stupid decision, one moment could really change your life. And I know I'm making fun of this dude, but he's a good example of actually not being numb to this process. I think some of these other guys, they're numb to the process, and also they're thinking about, oh, now I got to keep it real. You could tell he's having all the range of emotions as, yo, I fucked up. Why did I do this? Damn, I'm fucking stupid. Now, doesn't mean that he don't deserve the penalties. I think he deserves all the penalties, but we also got to see what happens when someone makes a fucking mistake and you see him trying his best, trying to wiggle out of it or not try to get the worst penalty, which would be death. And that's the actual real reaction to what most people would go through if they did some dumb shit like this. You know what I mean?
Remorseful. Were you feeling remorse that next day or later that day?
I don't remember these days in detail, how I was feeling, what I was thinking.
What about later that night when you went to Orlando? Were you feeling remorse when you were out partying at Club Parlay, celebrating what you had done that day?
That was my sister's birthday party.
What did you feel any remorse while you were drinking Don Julio tequila and putting it in the video and throwing gang signs? Did you feel remorse
Testify
then?
about today, sir.
Yo, chat.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Yo, this lawyer on bad timing.
While you were drinking Don Julio tequila and putting that in your video and throwing gang signs?
I'm here
Did you
to
feel remorse
testify
then?
about today, sir. We've all seen the evidence. We've all reviewed everything.
Mr.
that's
Chance, it's not time for you now.
It's not his name is not Chance. His name is Gathright. So the prosecutor got it wrong. His name is Gathright. I guarantee he won't correct him though. You see, he's terrified. And I also want to point out, this nigga was big bad in the streets with a gun. The prosecutor is now grilling him and he's terrified. Let's see if he'll correct him. Like, my name is not Mr. Chance. Isaiah Chance comes afterwards. Let's see if he's going to correct him. Like, nah, I'm Sean Gathright. Let me see if he's going to keep it.
Speeches, you've politely answered your counsel's questions. Can you not answer the state's questions? Is there something about my question you don't understand?
I was getting to.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gathright. I called you Mr. Chance.
Okay, you see.
I was getting to my answer. Like I said, I've seen all the evidence.
Well, we've all seen all the evidence,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And after all that evidence came in, and this jury based their true verdict on that, convicting you, now you're taking accountability? Is that correct?
Sustain the objection. I think the question on the table was
Yo, even the judge feel bad. The judge feel bad. Yo, Better Call Saul, like, yo.
remorse about Orlando. Okay?
It is, Your Honor.
You just need to answer that question.
So I'm going to ask you very specifically, okay? So try to focus with the laser beam here, Mr. Gathright. Were you feeling remorse when you were in Club Parlay in Orlando drinking Don Julio? Were you feeling remorse for what you did earlier that day?
I don't remember how I was feeling or what I was thinking.
Drinking Don Julio. Were you feeling remorseful when you were drinking Don Julio, bro? Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Whoever get a case versus this prosecutor in Tampa, you're cooked. This nigga is not playing. He already got the win. There's only two options for you, life or death, and he's still going hard.
Feeling remorse when you got pulled over in the Forerunner a couple of days later by the police?
I don't remember. I was nervous. I mean, I had never been involved in any
Were you
police
feeling
matters.
remorse when you were unloading the Impala and putting all of that evidence into the Forerunner? Did you feel remorse?
Sir, I told you I don't remember how I was feeling or what I was thinking in those days.
I want to see his mom's face while all this happening.
Mr. Gathright, you have led, you would agree with me, an extremely privileged life, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
You would agree with that, correct?
I would.
You've had a loving mother, correct?
Yes, sir.
A loving sister, correct?
Damn.
Yes, sir.
You've had 2 wonderful grandmothers, correct?
Yes, sir.
You would agree with me, right?
I couldn't deny that.
One of which probably, I'm assuming, sacrificed and paid for you to go to that private school, that preparatory school, correct?
It wasn't paid. It was a magnet program, so I had to apply, and it was a lottery system.
It was a lottery system. Okay, so it was a magnet.
Yes, sir.
All right. She supported you going there, did she not?
Everybody did.
Gave
Yes, sir.
you open use of her house, welcomed you, treated you, and parented you, basically, didn't she?
Yes, sir.
Took care of you when your parents were deployed, correct?
Yes, sir. At the time, I was living with my grandmother. Both of my parents had been either retired or out of the military. I was just living there more so. I needed a change of scenery, and my relationship with my father wasn't sustainable.
Okay. This is when you're in Oxford with your grandmother.
Yes, sir.
The nice lady we saw earlier came in here.
Yes, sir.
The one that has supported you and spoke so lovingly about you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you went to this preparatory school, and whether you got in there through a lottery or not, you would agree with me, not everybody gets to go to a school like that, correct?
The lottery school, the magnet school I went to was in middle school when I was living in Jacksonville. The school I went to in Oxford, it was just a public high school.
A public high school.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
my mistake. So you went to that preparatory school in Jacksonville.
Yes, sir.
But again, that school was not something that every kid gets to go to, right?
No, sir.
Not every kid gets to have a counselor and a role model like Mr. Edwards, correct?
No, sir. I was very blessed.
And not many children get to fly in planes with their stepfather, correct?
No, sir.
And fly around in Asia and get to see islands off the coast of Okinawa, correct?
No, sir. I was
And go on
very
camp-
blessed.
You are very blessed, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And not every kid gets to go to Scotland, right?
No, sir.
Or Ireland,
No, sir.
or Paris,
No, sir.
or London,
No, sir.
or Spain.
No, sir.
Cape Town or Johannesburg, or both in South Africa?
Cape Town.
Cape Town, beautiful city, right? You got to go experience that when you were growing up, correct?
I did.
Because you had such loving people around you supporting you, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, your grandmother went with you on that trip, did she not? Or not on that one, but on the ones to
Several
Europe,
trips.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we heard you got to meet up with your sister in one of those trips, correct?
I did. I had the privilege.
So you always had someone there taking care of you, and you always had good, strong male role models, including people at your grandmother's church and your stepfather, Mr. Harrington, correct?
I had male role models in my life growing up, but in my more formative years, more so 16 to 18, I didn't. I did not have a relationship with my father, and the male role models that came and testified, they were present but not intimately as whenever I was younger, maybe middle school years. But when I turned around 16 to 18, it was the females that actually had that caregiving and, nurturing relationship with me. But
Thank you for clarifying that. I appreciate it.
yes,
So,
sir. Towards the more recent years, I didn't have that one-on-one and very close relationship with, those male role models in my life. You heard my stepfather say, after the divorce.
I did hear that, Mr. Chance. Let me stop you,
Mr.
okay,
Gathright.
and we'll go back to my question. I'm sorry?
Mr. Gathright.
I'm sorry. I keep calling you that, Mr.
Finally
Gathright.
corrected him.
Let me go back to what you said earlier. Between 16 and 18, you didn't have a male role model? Is that what you're telling the jury?
I'm not saying I didn't have any male role models, but day to day, young men need strong.
That's not what I
influence.
asked. I asked if you had a male role model between 16 and 18.
I had a figure that I could go to, but not intimately.
Mr. Edwards, right?
Yes, sir.
He had stayed in contact with you even when you graduated into high school, correct?
Yes, sir. We definitely maintained a relationship, but
And he
it
seemed to
wasn't.
be pretty enthusiastic about that, right?
Yes, sir.
In
Yes.
fact, you went on a cruise with him at some point, did you not?
Yeah, when I was younger, yes. We had
Okay.
a very close relationship.
And then from what you're saying, if I understand it right, the females, I'm assuming you're talking about your grandmothers and your mom stepped into the gap?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was grandmother's mother, sister.
So let me see if I got this right. When you were being brought up, and you were being brought up by a mother who was enlisted or an officer in the military, an officer, wasn't she?
I don't know exactly what her rank is. I know she was a sergeant.
But in the Marine Corps?
Yes, sir. She was in the Marine Corps.
All right. And then you had a stepfather who was in the Air Force, right?
Yeah, he was.
From the time you were 3 all the way up to when they divorced in 2020?
Yes, sir.
All right. They taught you right from wrong, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we
Of
heard
course.
that from your grandmother,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Of course. Yes, sir.
Miss Lyle, she told us the same thing.
Right.
They brought you up in the church. They taught you about the 10 Commandments. They taught you about right from wrong. Did they not?
They did.
All right. And they were excellent role models about living your life in a disciplined, honest, and right way, correct? And being law-abiding, correct?
They really didn't have to worry about me.
Well, let me just answer my question. Would you agree with what I'm telling you? That they were excellent role models of how to live a moral life?
Yes, sir. They definitely instilled the foundation.
May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Yes.
I have nothing else, Your Honor.
Okay, redirect.
Mr. Gathright, despite living, I think I did that. Despite having what you called a blessed upbringing, you still find yourself here today, right?
Unfortunately.
Where you had lived, we heard about Mississippi, and was Jacksonville different than where you had lived previously?
Jacksonville was unlike any other city that I've lived in or visited or any other country. The cultures, the neighborhoods, the people, it's completely different.
And how old were you when you kind of started experiencing that culture shock?
So when I moved to Jacksonville, I was about 9 or 10 years old. I didn't really know much about what the streets were, quote unquote, the streets were. It was more whenever I got to high school and I wanted to leave the magnet school that I was at. I wanted to be at more of a neighborhood school to be around the people I grew up with, because at the magnet school it's 30, 45 minutes away. I, didn't really know anybody. I wasn't as close as the people who I grew up with. So around high school, that's when I started hearing about, and seeing, the different things like, the drugs and people dying and, stuff like that. And I was caught completely off guard, but I was curious, like, what is this? I'm listening to the music, like, I was just, like, caught off guard. Like, I'd never experienced something like that, especially living in Japan and, living in different states around the world. I mean, or in the country, it didn't have what Jacksonville had.
And we've heard from a lot of people that knew you, and I think it's been a pretty consistent theme that you were mature and, smart and interested in things. But you were still, how old around that time?
I was 14, 15, I definitely would consider myself to be smart and, mature for my age, but
Still curious?
I was still a young boy, I still am a young man.
You think you were kind of impressionable?
I would characterize myself as, at times being naive, gullible, impressionable, and yeah.
And so despite that upbringing, are you finding yourself, you're in a different culture now, but you still want to be as successful as you can?
Yeah, so being in the jail, I'm by myself, especially in a city so far away. I don't know anybody, so I took this time to focus back in on myself and just get back to the basics, what I know, and without anybody being in my ear or influencing me, I've cut out the noise, there's not many distractions in jail, it's the same thing every day. So I started to work out and, programs, try to educate myself more, plan, stuff like that. Everybody asks themselves, or everybody asks God for things, what we want what we want God to do for us. But a lot of the times we don't ask what God wants from us. And so I've asked God that question, what do you want from me? I'm asking all these things from you. What do you want from me? And he told me that he's calling me, like, I feel like my calling, or what he told me, was to be there for the youth, serve the youth, keep them from going down similar paths, because there's a better way. And the streets is not the way. The streets are not the way.
even having everything, trips and privilege and church and grandmas, and you still can find yourself going down a wrong path, right?
Objection, leading.
Sustained.
And you feel that that's your calling?
Yes, I want.
Objection, non-responsive.
Well, I think it's more asked and answered, but you can go ahead and answer. Just yes or no. Just answer yes or no. Do you
what
feel
was-
that you're calling?
Just what you were describing.
Yes, I do. I would like to.
Well,
Objection.
no.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. You just gotta wait for a question, okay, Mr. Gathright?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
Okay, very good. All right, members of the jury, I'm gonna have you step in just 2 minutes quick, and then we will return.
All right.
Okay. I also do want to play the warden in a second, but before I play that, chat, apparently this guy is like homie. So this is Sean Gathwright's like friend. He had some words. He said, "Yo, bro, check this out."
I know them folks that killed Julio Foolio. Yeah, Sean Gathright was one of them. So he just got sentenced to life. Let's talk about him. I'll be honest, I grew up with Sean Gathright in Oxford, Mississippi. Me and Sean went to Oxford High School. Let me tell you, bruh, Sean wasn't no killer, bruh. I'm gonna keep that shit 100. Sean was not no killer. We used to sit on this man grandma's house and smoke weed together. Sean wasn't no killer. That's why, like, people who be going around with guns and that be talking about switches and do all this kill, they don't scare me. Nigga, Sean was a everyday regular kid. We would skip school, like hang out, have fun, and he one of the ones that killed Foolio. And I promise you, he was smart. The boy was so smart in school. I know justice has to be served. I know, but I wish there really was a different outcome for him. I really wish there was a different outcome for him. So y'all know them folks that killed Julio Foolio? Yeah, Sean Gathright was one of them. So
Okay, so he's basically saying he wasn't like that. Interesting. Now, what we do got to go back to is the warden. So on day one of the penalty phase, the warden for a prisoner, actually he's a former warden, he actually took the stand and he actually gave reason why Sean Gathright shouldn't be killed. He said there was actually some use for Sean Gathright and basically said he shouldn't be killed. Check this out, chat.
Father and his uncle were charged with the same murder. And as you
May not consider.
Team will review them, place them on a docket, as they say, to be reviewed by central office, and move to a facility such as Santa Rosa Correctional Institution, Martin.
Here we go.
And Tarrant County is which major
Fort
city?
Worth.
Fort Worth. All right.
Yo, this prosecutor don't play no
But
game.
you work in Austin, but you live in Tallahassee. They go to visitation to visit someone on the weekend. They're escorted to a search room where they are searched and monitored, correct?
Yes, going in and out.
And then they're allowed to go into this open area, which I think has a maximum.
Clear it up a little bit. Some of the work that you've done, say in Texas and different counties.
Life, less than life, those individuals, if they're going to be getting released, that in many cases the assignment for them.
Here we go.
When someone is sentenced to life without parole, is the goal of the Florida Department of Corrections to rehabilitate that person?
Objection outside the scope.
Overall, go ahead.
No, in my many years of experience as classification officer and supervisor, the standard practice across the industry, those who are serving a term of life, they're not the ones that we are focused on making an investment in. We look at those individuals who have a term of years, so we can provide them programs, betterment, peer-to-peer self-assessment programs, because the goal is to get them in a place so when they get released, they do not reoffend. And with a lifer, we are aware they will never leave the prison system. The only opportunity they will have is they end up at a prison in which maybe we informally, as classification officers, would keep a list. So if we had a vacant seat in a particular program and they were behaving and following the rules, we would insert them so that seat wouldn't go to waste, but they're still required to work 60 hours a week. They do not get out of work, versus those with a
Damn, 60 hours a week?
term of life, less than life. Those individuals, if they're going to be getting released, that in many cases, the assignment for them will be education half a day and then work the other half.
So although we've heard that someone serving life without parole is required to work and then may have some opportunity to do programs or mentorships, the ultimate goal is still punishment, correct?
Yes.
No further questions.
Okay, very good. May this witness be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank
Oh, no.
Testified, I think you said it was 20 times over the last 5 years?
Approximately, yes.
And you've given similar testimony to what you gave today?
Yes.
About the conditions within the Department of Corrections?
Yes.
Okay. You've never testified in those
Based on
cases
Mr.
for the state
Gathwight's
of the
age.
prosecution, correct?
No, never been asked. I'm trying to look at my
Okay.
notes. Then they can be considered.
Hold on.
Things you mentioned, right?
Yes, they have programs.
Can you explain what a typical day in the life of an inmate serving life without parole would look like, since they are required to work? What else does a day look like?
A typical consultant means not in my work capacity. Is my
Mr. Bonosco to give his opinion testimony in the areas of corrections policy, practices, and conditions.
Mr. Fournier, witness this time.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have you ever consulted on cases for the prosecution or state attorney's office?
Oh, here we go, chat. We got it.
No. Start on the inside grounds for the first 3 to 6 months, and depending how well they
Yo, this nigga find out all the work he gonna be doing.
That you mentioned earlier in your direct about somebody with an education, certain inmates can maybe be kind of mentors or peer-to-peer, I think you described it, working with
Mentors? Like, fuck out of here. This nigga about to have to do manual labor, man. It's a young trung nigga, man. Like, yo, send him to the fields, man. Get out of here, bruv.
inmates that are serving a term of years, meaning they are getting out of prison. Do you think that Mr. Gathright would have that ability if he were serving a life without parole sentence?
He would have that ability. Of course, classification will have to look at his behavior, but the fact that he does have a high school diploma, that is one of the requirements to be an inmate student aid, because they're helping other individual prisoners obtain some kind of education programming, so they have to have a high school diploma. So he does have the credentials to be considered for that type of work assignment.
And as you said, when he gets to classification, somebody there will make all these determinations once they evaluate him physically, mentally, behaviorally, all of that stuff, right?
That's correct.
And based on your previous work as a classification officer, you feel comfortable saying that he could potentially be in that role?
Based on my experience and 4 decades, someone who I met and got the opportunity to speak to, and his current housing assignment, he has the potential to be considered for an assignment like that once in the prison system, but that would be over a period of time. Every inmate who's brought into a permanent prison will have to go through a period of observation, and usually they start on the inside grounds for the first 3 to 6 months, and depending how well they do out in the heat and behave and follow the rules, then they can be considered for other positions which have more responsibilities or level of trust, but always supervised by staff.
And in the Department of Corrections, are there also what you consider faith and character facilities?
Yes, that is a new industry standard in the last 5 to 7 years. The Department of Corrections has quite a few of those that are spread out throughout the state.
And what do they offer to an inmate serving, well, I assume they don't include death row inmates, but if somebody's serving life without parole, what would that mean?
Anyone in the prison system up to life is eligible to be considered to go to that facility. For example, you have a Sumter Correctional Institution, Everglades Correctional Institution, but you have to show a 2-year record of following the rules, no disciplinary reports, no kind of security concerns, just to be considered. There's an application process in which they will have to go through, because these facilities, they're also known as incentivized prisons. So they only want those inmates who are respectful, following the rules, and not going to be a security concern.
And based on Mr. Gathwright's age, physical abilities, things like that, do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes, with my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator. He's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor.
Nah, I got a better one. I got a better one.
Age, physical abilities, things like that, do you
Those inmates who are respectful, following the rules, and not going to be a security concern.
And based on Mr. Gathwright's age, physical abilities, things like that, do you think that the prison would benefit from him in a work capacity if he were sentenced to life without parole?
I say yes, with my experience, not only just in classification, but as former warden and even as a jail administrator. He's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we would put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration. We have that, so we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
Yo, chat, I'm going to be honest with you. Hey, I know some of y'all think this is cruel. In a lot of other countries, I don't know if they do it here. Like when they sentence you to life, they usually include that in the sentence. Oh, I think Louisiana do it too, right? They said Louisiana do it. A lot of countries, they actually sentence you to labor. So I know some people are like, oh, slavery. Listen, brother, not because I walk Sneeko down on that means I'm gonna defend this. No, yo, you not about to just be kicking it like bicking back, being bulled up in a jail cell with a TV and a cell phone that got smuggled through somebody's ass crack, while taxpayers are paying for your bunk and for your food. Hell nah, you gotta work. You gotta work. Hard labor, nigga. Hard labor. Word up. Hard labor. Fuck that.
Warden and even as a jail administrator, he's someone that's young, he's healthy. In reality, we need that labor, we need that sweat equity, and we will put him out there to work because we do have an aging prison population, jail administration. We have that, so we put these young individuals to work and get some sweat equity out of them since they are young and actually can do the work.
And I know we talk about life without parole and death row, but for our jurors' education, in Florida, what does a life sentence without parole mean?
A life sentence in the Florida Department of Corrections means from the minute they're brought in, they're assigned an inmate number. He will be assigned an inmate number, and when he dies and leaves in a body bag, he will still have that inmate number. An inmate serving life will never, ever get out. There is no parole in the state of Florida, and they're not ever allowed.
Yo, bro. Yo. God damn.
And leaves in a body bag, he will still have that inmate number.
But for our jurors' education, in Florida, what does a life sentence without parole mean?
A life sentence in the Florida Department of Corrections means from the minute they're brought in, they're assigned an inmate number. He will be assigned an inmate number, and when he dies and leaves in a body bag, he will still have that inmate number. An inmate serving life will never, ever get out. There is no parole in the state of Florida, and they're not ever allowed outside the razor wire and the fence of a secure facility.
Damn. Bro, if that don't kill your spirit, I don't know what do, bro.
So the only way that an inmate serving life without parole would leave is when they die by natural causes.
Objection, Your Honor, asking answer.
Sustained.
Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Mr. Harmon?
That is included testifying in civil cases, correct?
Yeah, a few.
All right. So that was like a moment there. Now going back to the other one, the one today, I'll look to see if Isaiah Chance. They did one defendant after the other. Isaiah Chan's time came up.
Every 2 years. So I've been doing that since I was
This is him.
Still in the womb before he even became out of the womb. I knew his mom when she was pregnant with him.
What's your relation to him?
Shout out to this nigga, man. He keeping it gangster, man. Ain't no tears, man. You know what type of time it is, nigga. He a block legend, nigga. Fuck all that.
My relationship with his mom?
What's your relationship to him?
To him, I'm his godmother.
Okay. How do you know his mother?
Her
school, but
David Bernard Murphy Sr. on the east side.
Okay, now this is funny. There's a part in here, chat, that they acknowledge. Remember, this is the guy Davion Murphy. They just acknowledge that this nigga's stupid. We shouldn't even like give him the full weight of the law. Like, he's kind of dumb. Wait, why can't I see the thingy? I'm gonna refresh it. I want to see the transcript. Yeah, they basically admit that homeboy is stupid as fuck. Oh, I can't find it. What the hell? There's a part of the shit where they basically testifying. And
Either the third or fourth grade, he had to repeat the grade.
Yo, chat. So for the first one, he's a light skinned nigga, he crying. The second one, he trying to keep it P. The third nigga, this is the guy that was in there like, fa, fa, fa. This is the one that been acting up. Their whole defense of this guy is, bro, he too stupid to even know what's going on, bro. Like, don't kill this guy, bro. Like, he's dumb as shit. Like, this guy is stupid. Chat, look at this shit. This shit is comedy.
And he went to live where? I didn't catch that.
With his paternal grandmother, Mrs. Phyllis Murphy. Now, what's also noted, when he was either the third or fourth grade, he had to repeat the grade, and he received a comment in the records of EMH, of educably mentally handicapped.
Yo, they basically tell you this nigga retarded, man. Like, yo, come on, bro. You retarded, bro. Like,
which is an indication of his low IQ.
Nah, this is crazy, Chad. Yo, nah, they cooking this nigga, yo. They basically say they too dumb, bro. Like, yo, come on, bro. Hold on. I might have to listen to this whole testimony. Nah, hold on. Nah, they cooking him.
Different areas of functioning. Again, they targeted almost every area of disability.
Okay. And was Davion also given an IEP, or an individualized education program?
So he was given IEPs across the board almost every year.
And starting when? From time he was 8 on, or?
Right, 8 on. And they were relying on this IQ that was done when he was 8 or 9. And there was a recommendation that they retest him, but that never was done. So the IEP was based on this IQ that was performed when he was 8 or 9 years old, even though the recommendation was that he should be retested. And the reason he should have been retested is because the skills of an 8 or 9-year-old obviously are not as demanding as they are from somebody who is older. And as you're older, there's more demands, and the skills sets are quite different. And the IQ could have changed, and it would have been reflective.
Let me ask you that. Does someone's IQ change, or is it constant throughout their entire life, or what's the feel on that?
So IQ should be stable, but it should be stable at a point where there's a certain level of developmental maturity. So at 8 or 9, the individual is quite young, and that really is not a set determination in terms of what their IQ really should be or is. Okay. Once an individual is a little more mature and is a little older, so that IQ should be more or less stable.
Understood. Do you have an age that someone's IQ would more or less stabilize? Does that make sense?
So it should probably be around 16, maybe 15, 16. In other words, past puberty, where the individual already is like early adulthood. So that is probably the point where one would look at more stability in terms of IQ.
Okay. Anything else other than the 14 different schools? You mentioned the IEP program, the ESE, some diagnoses while he was in school. Anything else that you utilized in rendering your opinions that you're going to give here today?
So first, he was given the Florida Comprehensive Assessment Test numerous times. The records indicated that his score was never level 3 or higher. In grade 4, 5, 6, he repeatedly obtained level 1 in reading and writing. During high school, over multiple administrations, his scores were consistently at level 2. Now, an individual that scores level 1 is basically failing. That's not acceptable. 2 is also very low, and it should be more like 3 and above. So for the most part, he was low performance, below proficiency levels, and core academic skills with no marked improvement over time. So there was a consistent failure, and as the test was demonstrated over time, it really did not improve.
Are these the FCAT tests that kids have to pass or take every certain number of years that they're in school in order to progress and advance?
Correct. Now, because of the FCATs and because of his academic difficulties, he was diagnosed with a mental disability and he received Social Security disability. That was diagnosed early on with the attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity, prescribed medications, and he was taking either Ritalin or Vyvanse as a child, and because of the diagnosis, he received Social Security disability, an indication of his difficulty in receiving the disability benefit. In addition, he had behavioral problems. There was fighting, there was being kicked out. At some point, he moved out from his home, went with a paternal grandmother. There was difficulty with smoking, gambling, fighting, and so there was a combination of both academic difficulties as well as behavioral difficulties.
And
now,
when you said Davian was kicked out by his mother, would that have been in the 10th grade?
correct.
Anyone to live where? I didn't catch that.
With his paternal grandmother, Mrs. Phyllis Murphy. Now, what's also noted when he was either the 3rd or 4th grade, he had to repeat the grade, and he received a comment in the records of EMH, of educably mentally handicapped, which is an indication of his low IQ, his low functioning, and that was noted when he was either 3rd or 4th grade. He repeated the 4th grade, and this was something that was noted in the records probably at the age of 10, 9, 10, something in that level. He was kicked out of multiple schools due to his behavior. He was sent to Jacksonville Youth Academy Level 6 program for 9 months from age 17 to 18. Part of the program, he was forced to go to school. Then
Oh, my bad. I said this is bad. Chat, with how stupid this guy is, like, why didn't they just plead insanity? They were saying the guy was mentally retarded, bro. as of a couple of years ago. Like, this guy is like dumb as shit.
And he repeated the 11th grade, which he had not completed before. Somehow his mother was able to reinstate him in public school for the 12th grade. He didn't graduate.
Let me just stop you there, doctor, for 1 second. I want to bring you back to just a couple of things, to highlight a couple of things. He repeated the 4th grade, you said?
Correct.
And then he also repeated with the 11th grade as well?
Correct.
Okay. With regards to medical or psychiatric history, such as any injuries to his head or what have you, can you go through those with us, please?
So there's multiple head injuries that Davion sustained. He was diagnosed again with the ADHD, and he was prescribed Ritalin.
Bro, how much things is this guy diagnosed with, man? This guy, just give him a fucking helmet.
Vyvanse later on. ADHD used to be called minimal brain damage. That was what it was called back in the day. It's changed, and now it's called ADHD. The thinking was that this is a brain impairment. So I mentioned that as of note, that early on he was diagnosed with ADHD and was taking medication.
And is there a time where Davion and his younger brother were seeing a psychiatrist?
There was notes that he was seeing a psychiatrist, this Dr. Louis Quinones, every few weeks for several years. The records indicate visits from the year 2007 through 2010.
And how old is Davion as he sits here? Do you know?
He now is 28.
Really?
Or 29.
I thought this thing was in his 30s.
Present time?
Yes. When do you have his birthday on there?
His birthday is January 10th, 1997.
So in 2007 through 2010, Davion and his brother, his younger brother, were seeing a psychiatrist.
Correct.
All right. And was there also, can you tell us about an incident with a golf cart when he was 7 or 8 years old?
He reported crashing a golf cart into a car wash, hitting his head on the steering wheel at 7 or 8 years old, and he remained with bad headaches after that incident.
Okay, what about at age 14?
So he was a passenger in a car that crashed into a tree. He ran away and did not seek medical treatment.
All right, then I'm going to jump to 2015. Was there a time where he had fractured a bone in his hand, in his right hand?
He fractured his third metatarsal. He was evaluated.
All right, man, we don't got to listen to the whole thing. This guy is a bona fide retard. And I actually don't think
They removed them from the courtroom, and that is going to, around.
Again, a dysfunctional sit down.
I think we're going to go into day 3.
Executive function. There was records that
I actually don't believe that anyone has been sentenced yet. So everyone's kind of putting up their case. We're at Davion Murphy, which means the last one is going to be this guy right here. He's been seeming like he's out of it. This is Rashad Murphy. So that's going to be, I think, concluding tomorrow. But essentially, all these people, they only got 2 options. It's either life or death. All right? By the way, if you guys are on YouTube, we got like a couple more topics, but we're also going to watch our true crime video. Could y'all come on over to Kick, please?